Not one of those hurts so good feelings. It just hurts.
It hurts.
It just hurts.
Is there anything she's doing anything for you?
No idea yet. Good morning from Camp Ozone. It is beautiful here. Got my spot set up right by the lake. I've got a gorgeous view. That is the start finish area over there. And then the course comes right along this gravel road right behind me here and goes around. So I got everything set up, all my supplies, you know, my van right there with everything else. So I don't have the tent sidewalls up yet. Those will go up later when it gets cooler. I've got my heater in there also I can bring out. I need to go check in and get ready to run. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Well, check-in is done. I've got my swag bag, my bib right here. Bib number 131. So now I gotta get back and get changed up. Well, I got my clothes on, but I gotta get this other stuff off and get ready to go. So I got about 25 minutes before I need to be back over here for a briefing.
During times we put out a sign before that tells you when the next course changes.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1, go! And we're off.
And we're off, but I'm gonna get aid first. I forgot to fill up my water bottle. All right, now we're underway. I got some water or some tailwind, ready to go for 48 hours on my first run walk. Yeah, there's Lawrence killing it. Hey, man. All right, just finishing up the first walk interval, trying to stick to plan. It's so weird to like just be walking on flat ground less than 10 minutes into a race, you know. It's hard. I gotta remember, long game. Stay in it for the whole 48 hours. Gotta stay to my plan. It is a gorgeous day though. Kind of cool this morning. Got gloves on. But man, it's beautiful. There is Camp Cornhouse. It's where I'm set up right here. Beautiful spot, right on the course. Real pretty section of single track. It's short, but it's pretty. A little bit of elevation. You know what? Let's walk it. It's a long race. Last year that bridge was intact, or not last year, but 2018. I had some cool pictures from Misty Wong going across that bridge. Another walk break. Coming in to complete the first loop. All right. First loop done. So yesterday, Thursday, the day before this race, UPS showed up at my house and brought me the Coros Apex 2 Pro. Doesn't come out till November 3rd. So I'm testing it. It's fine because you guys won't see this video until after November 3rd. But what better time to test a watch with awesome battery life than in a 48-hour race. So super excited. I've also got the Vertix 2 on right here. I can kind of compare the two, the data. So it should be pretty interesting. All right, 5-hour update. Well, technically 5 hour and 12 minutes. I am 27.2 miles in, moving well, still feel pretty darn good. Sticking to my run walk, you know, the 8-minute run, 2-minute walk is working out well. Been a couple other breaks here and there to, you know, go to the bathroom. I have peed twice, which is key. I am keeping track of that. Make sure I'm staying hydrated, you know. Well, the next 5-hour update will be dark, I imagine, so it's all right. I'll still bring you out and get the headlamp. Well, the little mount on my GoPro shorty stick just stinking broke. Like the little, I don't know what it's called, the little piece that attaches to the actual stick broke. Just pull it right off the top. So that sucks. But I do have another shorty stick with me. Well, not a GoPro, but another selfie stick with me for the other GoPro. So I'll swap those out at some point. Let's check out the aid station fair. Hey, you got any fruit?
Fruit?
Ah, I'll take some grapes here. That'd be... Alright.
Like we're taking it from the bees, but I'm not sure.
These are some of the biggest grapes I've ever seen.
They're big grapes.
They're good too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Woohoo. These grapes are massive. So, I don't know if it's a good sign or not. Probably not. But I just PR'd my 50-mile time in a 48-hour race. 9:55. 9 hours, 55 minutes. I feel good. I'm slowing down a little bit intentionally just to try to, you know, preserve. Oh well. Check this out though. So we'll go ahead and call this the 10-hour update. Feeling pretty good. It's getting cool. I had to put the gloves back on. Only my right hand was cold for some reason. But yeah, still moving. All right, 15-hour update. It's actually 15:13 now by the time I got the GoPro. Almost 71 miles in. Definitely starting to feel it. Not starting, it's been feeling. About mile 60-ish. I went and saw the physical therapist, had her stretch out my hip flexors and legs because they were just getting really tight. Yeah, definitely getting harder to run right now. Pace has slowed dramatically. A little bit of that's intentional, but not all of it, that's for sure. It's all right. I'm gonna keep on trucking. All right, 20-hour update. I got Lee. He's been out here for what, 10 miles?
10 miles, yeah.
10 miles with me so far. I just crossed, or I'm about to cross 89 miles. Definitely slowed down a lot. If we see a mile with a 14 in the beginning of it, that's fast. But took a little break back there. Had to hit the massage gun on the feet. My right ball of the foot, or arch of the foot, was not feeling well, and the hip flexors, but feels okay now. But yeah, feels like 90 miles. All right, gonna truck on, get to that 100, and then continue on from there. Sun is up, and I have been reinvigorated, especially by the possibility of going sub 23. I'm gonna do it. In fact, any second now. Let's see here. One more 100th of a distance here. There it is. 100 miles, 22:48. 22:48. PR by about, I don't know, almost 30 minutes on the same course. So, pretty cool. Legs feel good. By the time I get over to the mat, that should be like 101. And that should also be under 23 hours. All right, Lee ducked out at about 20 miles of pacing. His Achilles was acting up. I didn't want him to injure himself anymore, so We moved well together though. All right, let's knock this out. Hey, good job, man. That right there, ultra brain. That behind me is the turnaround on this little out and back. Out and back's no fun. Just uphill enough to make your hip flexors tired, and a couple of rocks here and there to trip over. So, oh well, everybody's doing it. Taking a much needed break to do some foot care because my toes have been feeling jacked up for a while. And there's a reason for that, because my toes are nasty right now. I already popped one blister, wrapped it. This one is, take a look at this. Caution, feet. Hopefully you can see that guy. Right in the crease. So I'm gonna pop it, put some benzoin treatment on it, or ointment, tape it. It's gonna hurt like heck for a while, but I'll eventually forget about it. Well, 25-hour checkup, 25 hours and 15 minutes. 105.35. Hip flexors are still very angry, making it hard to run. I am able to run a little bit. But feet feel better after taking that time to take care of them. I mean, they hurt, but not like before, and everybody hurts right now, except for the new people out here. There's a lot more people on course because there's a 6-hour race, a 12-hour race, and a 24-hour race that started this morning. So we got fresh people out here that can move. Cool costume contest coming up, or it's going on right now. I'll see if I can find some of these costumes because they're pretty funny. Here's one of the costumes. I love it.
Good job, David.
Thanks, man. This is about top speed right now. Quite slow. Run, Forrest. Run, Forrest. Stretching out. All right, 5-hour update, or 5-hour, 30-hour update. It's a lot longer than 5 hours, 30 hours. No sleep still. Don't really plan to sleep for a while. I'm at 123 miles. I'm gonna do one more loop, which should put me at about 125, and take a break. Take care of the feet, hip flexors, get a massage gun, and try to loosen up a bit because it's all very tight. Brad's here doing a good job pacing me. Woo woo! All right, let's go knock this last lap. Oh. Let me show you this massive hill. I mean, it's like ridiculous. Look at that. A whopping like 20 feet of elevation gain. But I'll tell you what, right now this feels like Mount Everest. Hip flexors are angry. Yeah, look at this. Hurts so good.
Grit, the determination.
125 miles in. 30 hours, 45 minutes.
He's like Elsie. He'd sit down and wrap him up in a little blanket and I'd spoon feed him.
It was so cold. It was in February. Oh, I literally cannot pick my legs up.
See, that's what I thought when she was gonna lift your leg up. I thought the chair was just gonna be confused.
Fall backwards.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Hey guys, Future Me here. I wanted to jump in and kind of let you know what's going on. So this right here, what you just watched, is about 125 miles into the race. After this, I went out for another 2 laps with my pacer, Brad. And we moved okay. You know, it definitely got a little bit more difficult. So then about 130 miles in, my wife started pacing me, which was great to have her there. You know, I was sleep deprived at the point, a little emotional, just having her there, it was great. I loved that moment. But it was really painful. So I didn't get the GoPro out much. I wasn't doing filming. But I did 1 lap with her, which was okay. It was definitely starting to get more painful in my hip, my left hip flexor, TFL area. And then on that second lap with her, So the start finish is on the other side of the lake, and then where my aid station is right here is on the other side. So from here to the next, to the start finish line is about another, maybe a half a mile, 6/10 of a mile. So then in that second lap, it was just almost unbearable. I got the poles and tried to finish that lap with her. And that half a mile to 6/10 of a mile was probably the most excruciating pain I've ever had in my entire life. Not just running, I mean in anything that I've done. I could not pick up my left leg at all. It was just any little stump that I would hit, because I couldn't pick up the left leg. I was dragging it along basically with my poles. I was crying, and not just like, you know, tears. I mean, I was like alligator tears crying at times. It was the most pain I've ever had. I made a joke and told my wife, I was like, oh man, I wish you had the camera. This would be great YouTube, but it was bad. So it took about 30 minutes to get over towards that aid station, but on the way we went across that lighted bridge, and there was a photographer there waiting and taking some photos. He didn't take a picture because he could see the pain I was in, the tears. He could hear me, I'm sure. But he did get one picture after we passed, and it's just, you can see that I'm hurting, and I love this photo of me and my wife here. Even though it's so much pain, it just, I don't know why I love this photo. It means a lot to me. But after this, I did get to the aid station. It took about 30 minutes to get there, and then we'll jump back in.
No, I don't have hypothermia.
Yet.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this.
Hip flexor
Trying
is
to
a
prevent
shot. Hip flexor is trash. She's trying to see if she can work some magic.
You're on camera, don't say that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Is your nose getting lonely? What? Is your nose
Oh,
getting
it's just like
lonely?
felt like you were rolling the hip flexor on top of the boat or something right there.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told
Oh.
you about what happened. Right door to the theater.
Gosh.
I got these out for you. They're open already.
I haven't pulled out the elbow yet.
Please don't.
Wish this was the time.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
He looks like eerily, painfully, blissfully enjoying this.
It's not one of those hurts so good feelings. It just hurts.
It hurts.
It just hurts.
Is anything she's doing anything for you?
Idea yet?
All right, got to fill in some more gaps. So third time seeing the physical therapist here. This was after that painful time with my wife. I spent probably a good 30 minutes with the physical therapist. I was so cold, she actually had me change. She held a blanket, my wife held a blanket over me, and I had to strip down like everything and put on dry clothes because I was shivering, and she thought that maybe because I was so cold, she couldn't get my muscles to loosen up. So she was trying to warm me up, worked on me for a little bit. It just, nothing was loosening up in the hip. It was so tight and so painful what she was doing that she recommended that I go take a 2-hour nap, see if I could maybe things would loosen up a little bit if I was sleeping. I had my van with the mattress in it, so I went back. My wife picked me up in the van, took me back over to the other side, tried to sleep for 2 hours. It just did not happen. I was in so much pain, I could not sleep at all. And then my wife and Lee were sleeping in some lounge chairs, in, you know, kind of the anti-gravity chairs in the tent. And I was able to kind of basically crawl my way into the tent, and I just told them I'm done. I can't do another 14 miles with this hip to get to 150 miles. It just wasn't going to happen. So at that point, you know, my wife drove me over to the start and finish, and I officially pulled myself from the race. With this race, it's not a DNF because, you know, if you do one lap, you're a finisher. So I still was a finisher, and at that point I had 136-ish miles, and I pulled from the race. This was about probably midnight, so almost, you know, Sunday morning. So there was at least about another 10 hours left of running, but before the time, you know, I slept in the van and saw the physical therapist. I basically stopped running with about 14 hours to go in the race. And you know, somehow I got very lucky. I still ended up winning the race overall, which was amazing. You know, I had 136 miles. I really feel, you know, I'm very happy with that, but I'm also bummed because I know My legs were fine except for that hip. The hip was trash, but man, I felt good everywhere else. I knew I could have done 150 miles easily. I really feel like I could have gone 160, 170. You know, it was just, everything was working except for that stinking hip. But I am happy to have won, of course. You know, I got the buckle that says 100 miles on. I already had one of these, but now I've got two. I was really hoping to get one that said at least 150 on it, but still happy to get another buckle. That's just really awesome. And you know, there's some awards on the way to me now. The RD is awesome enough. Will, he mailed them to me because I wasn't there the next day because we ended up packing up camp and leaving. And a huge thank you to Lee. He stayed as well and helped my wife pack up everything in the vehicles because I was useless. I couldn't do anything. My son Declan was asleep in the van because he was there for a little bit too. And it was just, you know, we got back home. I had to actually, you know, we have a two-story home basically. You know, we always drive into the garage and have to walk up to the main floor of the house where my bedroom is. I had to turn around and sit on the stairs and use my arms to pull myself up because I couldn't pick up my leg at all. It took me several days to where I could literally pick up my leg more than about 8 inches. And so it's rough. It was by far the most pain I've ever had in a race, for sure. It was an awesome race. I learned a lot. I'll definitely do a video about that too. But anyway, sorry I didn't get a lot of footage there at the end. It was just, I was in so much pain. And it was a rough spot. So I appreciate you guys watching this so much. Hope you enjoyed it. Please scroll down, give it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. I'd definitely appreciate that. I highly recommend this race, the Ozone Endurance Challenge. They do anything from a 6-hour to a 96-hour. Will Jorgensen, Life Wide Open is amazing, amazing race director. Aid Station's so well supported. They have volunteers. It's a fantastic event. So definitely, if you want to do a looped race, this is a fantastic one to do. But thank you all so much. I do appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and take a look at the Beaverhead 100K video I did over on this side of your screen. It's another tough, challenging race. It was so beautiful. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you on the next one.